Previously, we defined a four-wheel alignment as a necessary hedge against the constant degradation of your chassis. Today, we look at the how. To understand why we invested in the CEMB ARGOS, you first have to understand the gold standard of the rest of the industry and why even the best traditional systems are still prone to a ghost of measurement error. Now, if you visit almost any other shop or dealership, they will use what we call a mechanical proxy. They attach a plastic target to your wheel using a large metal clamp. Now, here's a logical flaw. The computer in those shops isn't actually looking at your wheels. It's looking at that plastic target. Now, this creates the potential for clamping error. If the clamp is slightly off center, or if the rim has a minor imperfection, the target wobbles as the wheel turns. The computer gets a false truth and the ghost is introduced. Now, the leaders in the traditional alignment industry know this error exists, and the engineers attempted a solution called rolling compensation. Now, after they clamp the targets onto your wheels, they roll the car forward and backward so the computer can, quote-unquote, see the wobble and try to mathematically subtract it. Even the best aligner engineers of the old way can only provide a mathematical patch for a mechanical error. They are trying to math away the flaw. So imagine if the technician bumps the target after the computer already calculated the math. Or what if the clamp slips just a millimeter while the adjustments are being performed? The computer is still calculating based on the old wobble. It thinks it's right, but it's measuring a lie. That is the ghost, an error the machine can't see once the compensation is done. The answer given for this problem is, well, start the process all over again. Now, this may not sound like much of a problem, that is, until you consider the possible shop environments where all of this is actually taking place. See, most automotive technicians are paid on a flat rate system. This means they aren't paid by the hour. They're paid by the job. On top of that, many shops offer production bonuses for hitting high volume targets. See, speed is the axiom. How fast your car can be processed through the shop is the reward. Now, this creates an environment of intense pressure for achieving high vehicle throughput. When a technician is racing the clock to hit a bonus, every second counts. If a clamp is a little finicky or a target is slightly loose, the temptation is to, well, make it work and move on. If someone accidentally bumps a target after the mechanical compensation is done, restarting the process means they are essentially working for free for as long as it takes them to restart the entire process over again. At this point, a technician is forced to think about the implications of good enough. Now, at our shop, we don't implement any flat rate or production bonus schemes, but we also didn't want a better way to hide the error. We wanted a way to eliminate it. The CEMB ARGOS removes the proxy entirely. Instead of clamps, it uses structured light scanning. So, as we drive your vehicle onto our lift, the ARGOS projects a digital grid onto the actual face of your tires and wheels. It captures thousands of 3D data points per second to find the true center of rotation. Now, we don't need to compensate for a wobbling clamp because nothing's touching your car. We aren't calculating a guess. We are scanning the geometric truth. We aren't reading a mounted target. We're reading your actual vehicle. Now, we invested in the only system in the Northeast that bypasses the mechanical proxy altogether. The fact that we won't scratch your rims is a nice added bonus, but the real value is the untouchable accuracy. We refuse to compensate for a flawed process when we can give you the truth. At the end of the day, your vehicle is a liability, and we believe it deserves a precision hedge that is beyond doubt. I'm Troy Binder, and this has been GearCast.